Chair now recognizes the gentleman from Arizona, Mr. Hamadeh.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. For the first time in recent memory, we have a president who understands our national security starts with securing America's borders and defending our own backyard. It made zero sense to be waging endless wars on the other side of the globe while the narco-terrorists and the cartels push their poison freely into our country. In just 1 year, we lost more Americans to fentanyl than during the entire Vietnam, Iraq, and Afghanistan wars combined. Nothing is more important than having control of our borders and making sure our neighbors aren't bringing hostile foreign influence to our doorstep. Now, Arizona is leading the America First fight on the border. We're home to the Joint Task Force Southern Border Headquarters at Fort Huachuca. The Department of War's Joint Interagency Task Force is taking on the cartels out of Tucson, and our 162nd Fighter Wing pilots deliver 24/7 air dominance across the Southwest. Now, on behalf of Arizona, thank you all for helping secure our borders and making sure America is safe again. Now, General Guillo, I understand how is Northcom harnessing Arizona's cutting-edge autonomous sensors and AI-driven surveillance at our southern border to give our war fighters the edge they need?
Congressman, first I'd like to acknowledge the great contributions of Arizona, and not because I'm an Arizonan, but as you mentioned, the 162nd, I've flown with them a couple times, outstanding air defense of the United States, and all the other units, JIADF, counter cartel, and the work that they're doing to fuse intelligence that can counter the cartels, and then JTF Southern Border running the full 1,954 miles of the border in the SEAL part of the seal and repel order that we have. As for the autonomous sensors, I'm a very, very strong proponent of those. And as the Customs and Border Protection fields more of those across the border, what that does is, one, it reduces the reliance on soldiers and Marines to backfill that, and two, is it allows for much faster response to illegal activity at the border. So as CBP is able to put more and more of those into place, it'll be integrated into the systems that we've moved down to the southern border as part of JTF-SB to complete and hold that seal.
Very good. And thank you again for helping secure our border, General, because, you know, my district is actually probably one of the most important districts in terms of the cutting edge of AI, right? We have TSMC, we have all the semiconductors, and under the Biden administration, we had tens of thousands of Chinese nationals cross our southern border. And now that it's sealed, thanks to the U.S. military's help, we're no longer going to have that type of influence be exploited. And General, you testified that hundreds of drones are invading the airspace of our most sensitive military bases. I know we have many military bases at our southern border, like Fort Huachuca. Now, what additional resources or authorities do you need from us to fully secure the southern border against drones, tunnels, and other threats, and especially our airspace on our bases?
Congressman, you'll hear something from me you probably rarely hear, but last year we asked for 4 counter-UAS authorities, and all 4 have been granted over the past year. So we do not lack any authorities now. We just need to work with industry to field the systems at all the bases, such as at Davis-Monthan, to ensure that all of the bases have the systems they need to counter the drones. And we've worked very closely with Davis-Monthan. In fact, did a validation exercise over this past year on how Northcom could come in with a flyaway kit on a moment's notice to help them seal. And this was in an exercise, but we stand ready to do that at any time.
Very good. Thank you. Now, Mr. Humeyer, I applaud your success in capturing Maduro, but a potential power vacuum might be open for our enemies. Now, how are you making sure enemies don't just buy or bully their way back into the region? And how do you see the threats by China and Russia towards regional oil and gas and strategic minerals, ports, and tech going?
Yes, thank you, Congressman, for the question. Venezuela is an ongoing effort. It's an effort that's going to require persistent engagement. And what we're doing is we're trying to level that engagement across the interagency, frankly. But within the Department of War, we're focused on the first phase of the 3-phase plans that Secretary Rubio has outlined: stabilization, recovery, and transition. So the Department of War has focusing on the stabilization aspect of that plan, and that stabilization aspect requires us to have persistent engagement with the Venezuelan government and the Venezuelan armed forces. We have that engagement. Both General Donovan and I have been able to visit Venezuela in recent weeks, and we've had discussions with the Venezuelan government, and as of today, they are continuing to comply with a lot of the security guarantees that we've been asking for, both for our personnel or our embassy on the ground, as well as any kind of presence of any threats, external and internal, to the country and stability of Venezuela.